Hello everybody and welcome back to your mom's box tips and tricks. Today I will be talking to you about subsidies and a bunch of other stuff. I recently started off on server 3 then server 7. It took me a little while, but I grew tired of server 7 and eventually took me about 3 weeks of planning to move over here to server 32. I recently started out here and built my own alliance here. We're currently ranked about number 7 or 8. So let's see here. Come over here. This is your first subsidy you get at 11. This cannot be taken from you, no matter what. So it teleports with your main city. You can access it by hitting the dot button or additional menu button. It can be seen from right here. Let's see here. Then, let's see, subordinate city. And tap that if it'll stop loading. I currently have 3 or 4. When you start the game, you start out as a civilian. I'm currently one of the 37 knights on the server. The rank week is Sunday through Saturday night at about 11:30 p.m. That's when the server stops taking input on rank and begins to close up shop so that it can dole out rewards and make sure that everybody gets everything. It takes about maybe 5 minutes, sometimes for the ranks. Sometimes it can take up to an hour. Remember, EVONY will not do anything about customer support tickets unless a massive amount of people bitch, or it's specifically about yourself. Like a account audit, or something went wrong. There's environment issues, like quality of life issues, like, oh, this hit should be reversed. They're not going to do that. They won't. So don't even try that if you're gonna bitch to EVONY about something. So just on that side note, don't try that unless it's something legit. But let's just go over here to your bros box. This is the one that I got with my city. The one that cannot be taken from you unless you're able to defend yourself, like you're keep 25, you've got like 1 million plus troops already. You really should not have either of these buttons, the automatic fight for other cities or accept reinforcements from other cities on, unless you know for a fact you're going to beat the person hitting you. Like if someone's already hitting your sub-city, it takes about 10 hits, unless you're repairing the walls, then it's going to take between 10 to 12 hits to take it. That's how you know somebody's online. If it takes more than 10 hits, that's when you know somebody's on. Or they shield. Otherwise, no bueno. But it upgrades for itself the subordinate city construction speed, as you can see here at the top. It upgrades yourself. Max level of the subordinate city will never go past your keep level. Production speed here. Production speed here Production speed, training speed, gold. You may mostly want to go for gold up here, so having it set to economy is pretty important. At least in the early stages, until you're actually sitting there farming for prestige, which comes from monsters, or bosses, which is PvE. And then, the gold there, which is used for, that's modified by politics. This is modified by politics. Training speed is modified by, leadership. So the higher ones of those, the higher those are going to be. But good luck getting them there together. So next is the subordinate city buffs. Always go down there and look at the bottom. of the main city. You see how they're the main city marching troops. That means when you're going to when you're actually marching or going somewhere or sending on something. That doesn't mean if you are just sitting in your city. I mean, you have to be attacking or going somewhere for that to take effect. Now, up here, like on the Russian, I still have mine as economy. I have both off. This is in-city troop attack. That means on defense. On hit, I get an additional 2%. Okay, now that applies to all my cities. That does not just apply just to the main city. So if we were all going accept reinforcements from other cities and automatic fight for other cities and stuff like that, they would all get this in-city troop attack 2% bonus upon defense. When you're turning off the automatic fight for other cities, when the subsidies are hit, you won't lose troops. Don't worry about it. You won't lose the troops unless you're actually sending them somewhere, or you have them on. Okay? And on means both buttons. Fight for other cities means like when you're being attacked and you get hit. And accepting it means that they will go and they will fight with the general there. They will go to the other city and they will help fight for the defense of that city. And accepting reinforcements means that they will accept the reinforcements from your main city. So, make sure you have those off. You do not want to get zeroed by getting hit on a subordinate city where your traps and your archer towers and about, let's see, about a third of your research does not count. Additionally, I'm just going to go through here, go to my generals here. We're currently building our alliance city at the current moment. That's why my high politics hero is currently out, and Spartacus is on your bros box. But this is my main politics hero. Politics, as you can see, is the main gold income. Also helps out with a lot of other stuff too. I'm not going to get into that right now. But like this specific hero gives like an additional 50% to my gold production in subordinate cities. I also added troop training capacity, and when I do get the opportunity, I will add range bonus for my ranged troops. That will be important as well. How about my alliance here? Boop, boop. Go more and see if I can't. Oh no! I'll go train some more later. You always want to, every time the server gift comes along, try and get it. Doesn't matter whether it's crap or not. It pushes this server gift level up. It's very appreciative towards everyone, not just yourself. That's an entire server thing, not just a one-person thing. You always want to make sure you go to your tavern. I'm going to reiterate this like I did in one of my earlier videos. Make sure that you're doing as many of the daily activities as you can. For Legion myself, since this is the beginning of the second week of the server, I don't recommend completing the 2,000 enemies in PvP unless you're hitting unallianced castles, or it's a kill event. Just strictly because new servers need to grow and become oriented towards who's going to be taking the throne and who's going to be more kingdom versus kingdom oriented. I know we here at Legion are going to be more KVK oriented and late game oriented and understanding our mechanics first than throne oriented. So just throwing that out there for anybody else on the server who listens. Not gonna get all up in that throne jazz just yet. Maybe later. Most likely not. Next, you want to make sure that you're researching as much as possible. I know gold is a bitch. Keep 11 is where you unlock that gold production capacity. You know, being able to go out there and hit those gobs at T4. Being able to, those are 151.5k power. The level 4 goblins are about 525k power, somewhere around there. 550k, 0.5k power, somewhere around there. They're in the 500k range. But you can also hit these alone with subs to take off, to take off the umph from your troops. So that's an additional, plus side. You also want to make sure you're coming over here to your throne, or your shrine. Make sure that you're hitting monsters and rallying and doing things to work towards your next rank requirement. Please, this is a new server. Do not be a noob. This right here will show you who's the real vets and who's the noobs. Rank. You know, you don't have to be a spender in order to in order to know what you're doing. You know, people come here from EVONY 1 all the time, or EVONY 2, or any of the other games, Game of War, you know, just to mention one other that I can think of off the top of my head because I just saw a commercial for it. But, you know, and, you know, just hook up with someone who knows what they're talking about. Doesn't matter if they're a douchebag, doesn't matter if they talk a lot of shit, or if they keep to themselves. You know, find someone who you're good with, who's willing to teach, who's willing to teach you, who's willing to allow you to spend, willing to give you the knowledge to spend smartly. You know, because it's not just throwing money at the game and, ooh, let's win. Trust me. Just throwing the money at the game and not knowing what you're doing with it will not get you anywhere. In the end. It might get you everywhere in the beginning, but it will get you nowhere in the mid-game. You will be rallyable. You will be put down. So, for those of you who are non-spenders, there is an event every week called the Undead. Legion recently did that. We collectively managed to place 3rd on the server, even though we're currently ranked 8th. It's not all about spending. It's teamwork, it's mechanics, it's all about preparation, it's working together as a team. So just remember that as you join whatever alliance, if you're in an alliance, whatever server, make sure that you're doing that. Get your time to tax down, make sure that your rallies are on point, and make sure that you and your alliance is on point. And that's it. Alrighty, everybody. Sorry for the long time no video, but I will try to make them more and more now that I'm on a new server, and able to do so at a more leisurely pace. Alrighty, everybody. Have a good night. Your mom's box out.